I'm Charlie from CookingSecretsForMen.com. So, I have a Thanksgiving question for you. Would you like to cook your turkey in half the time? Stick around. I'll show you how it's done. Alright, to start having a very moist turkey that you can cook in less than half the time, we have to start several days before Thanksgiving, and unfortunately you're going to have to do math. So, this is a 16-pound frozen turkey, butterball. Turkeys defrost at 4 pounds per day. So, you're supposed to defrost your turkey in a fridge, since it's frozen. Most turkeys sold in the United States are frozen. USDA recommends thawing it in the fridge. It's the safest method because turkeys will thaw at a consistent, safe temperature. This does take a little time, so you have to allow 1 day for each 4 pounds. So this is 16 pounds, and working backwards, we're starting this on a Saturday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. This will be ready on Tuesday to start brining and getting it ready for Thanksgiving. So, thaw the turkey breast side up in a pan because it will drip because it's condensating. Keep it in the wrapper, don't take it out, and never thaw at room temperature. Alright, so we'll be back on Tuesday, show you how we spatchcock it and brine it. Okay, well it's Tuesday, 2 days before Thanksgiving. So what we're going to do today is brine the turkey, and then we're also going to spatchcock it. So the brining we're going to use is a wet brine, and that involves soaking a turkey in a saltwater solution overnight, and it results in a very plump and moist bird. A raw turkey that's soaking in unsalted water will plump some, but as you cook it, that moisture will just cook out. A 16-pound turkey that's brined and sits overnight will be a 17-pound turkey when you go to cook it. In the oven, while it's cooking, it releases a lot of its moisture, and that will result in a very plump bird. So, we have a smaller pan, and I also have a bigger pan that the turkey is going to sit in. But you start with a smaller amount of water because it will boil quicker. So there's already 4 cups in here. I'm going to add 4 more cups of water. All right, and this is 2 cups of kosher salt, and that's what we use, kosher salt, or you can use sea salt. So that goes in, and this is 1/2 cup of just plain old sugar. That's going to go in. So we're going to put it over here on the stove, and we're going to bring that to a boil. Top on. So once it comes to a boil, we'll stir in the aromatics, we'll stir in the, make sure everything's dissolved, and once that is dissolved, then we'll stir in the aromatics. Alright, here's our 8 cups of water. It's 2 quarts, and you can see it's steaming. So I'm going to put this. I've already got about 1 gallon of cold water in the stock pot, and I'm going to pour the hot salty water in. Everything dissolved within minutes. Then I have another gallon of, or 1/2 gallon of water, cold water to put in. So you already have about 2 gallons of water and ice to help cool it down. You want this to come to room temperature and cooler before you put a turkey in. You never ever add warm water or put a turkey in a warm water or salt solution because it's not going to be good. Lots of bacteria can happen. You want it to be cold, and then we're going to put it in the fridge. So we have some aromatics to put in while this is cooling, right? First is some whole peppercorns. Just sprinkle a bunch in. This is 5 cloves of garlic, and I've smashed them. You can leave the paper on because we're going to drain this. This is a couple sprigs of rosemary, aromatics. This is thyme, put that in. And this is an onion that chopped and quartered, and put that in. All right. And a couple other spices. We've got some granulated garlic. Put that in. There's oregano. All right. And this is onion powder. Okay. So we'll stir this in. You want to feel this get cool. So we're going to let this cool. While we're letting it cool, we'll spatchcock the turkey. Okay, the brine is cooling back here. Put some more ice in it. The temperature should be perfect to put the turkey in. So this turkey is been sitting in a fridge for 4 days, 16 pounds, 4 days. You can feel that it gives a lot, so I think we're defrosted. So let's first talk about what spatchcocking is. Spatchcocking is a technique where you remove the backbone from the turkey. It's similar to butterfly. Butterfly is just opening it up. Spatchcocking is actually pressing down on the breast and flattening it. Okay. The reason to spatchcock a turkey is that it cooks in a much quicker time frame. On a turkey, you really can cook this in about an hour and a half. The white meat and the dark meat cook and are moist, cook at about the same speed, and you get a crispier skin. So everybody, I hope, has put their turkey, left it in the bag. That's what Butterball says to do. So we're going to cut off the strings here. Toss that. All right, so we're left with what they say is an easy open bag right here. So I'm just going to pull this. It will leak. I'm going to put it over the sink as I get rid of the bag. There's the easy open part. All right. So we want to easier to open it in the sink. Get rid of the bag. We don't need it anymore. I'm going to rinse it just briefly. Most turkeys come with the gizzards and the heart and all that inside the cavity, and then there's a lap of skin that wraps around the legs. So the backbone, coincidentally, is on the back. There's a little flap here that we don't need because we're going to cook it flat. So I'm going to remove this. All right. And you want to find the backbone. It's pretty easy to find. Okay, and we're going to cut down both sides. So I'm going to mark it with my knife. See there. See there. Huh? Alright, come back on this side and just kind of feel your way down the backbone till it gets to the back. And you just keep moving it along the sides like you're scoring it. And you use your kitchen shears to start removing some of it here. It does not have to be perfect because we're going to remove all of the meat from the turkey to serve it from a presentation standpoint. So we're interested in what makes it flat. That's why we're spatchcocking. It's going to break through some bones. Get a crunch. my scissors here. Get some of the cartilage. All right, this side is away. Finish up the other side. And over here, backbone. So we're going to save this and use it for stock later. Just put that everywhere. So we're going to remove this excess skin. We're not going to need it. These are all good for stock. This, so we got to turn it around. I'm going to turn it over the. Remove the skin here. We're going to press down. Up the bag of hearts and gizzards. We want this to flatten out. There we go. So this is how our turkey will lie. I need to flatten this a little bit more, but you get the idea. We're going to flatten this. All right, so I'm going to make sure that our brine is cool, and then we're going to stick the turkey in it. All right, so here's our bird, and this has cooled significantly. Put a lot of ice in. It's not warm at all. It's cool to the touch. So we can go ahead and put our turkey into the brine. And it just fits. All right, so we're going to put a top on it, and this is going to go into the fridge for one day. Then tomorrow we're going to take it out, and then we're going to put herbs all around it and let it dry out in the fridge, sitting splayed, and then Thanksgiving Day, we're going to cook it. All right, so it's Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving, and we've taken the bird out of the brine. We've washed it off, patted it dry as best we can. It's full of moisture, so it's going to continue. It never gets completely dry, so you do the best you can. We've splayed the legs out, like this you can see, and it's on a tray that has a metal rack on it to allow some of the condensation that's still in there to continue to drip down, so it's not dripping in your fridge. So you want to put it on a tray that's big enough, and then the legs, as you can see, are splayed out. This one is, and then the wings, well, the wings are the wings. So what we're going to do now is make a little rub that we're going to put on this. So it's going to be a combination of salt, pepper, and lemon zest. So a couple tablespoons of, even though we have a lot of salt in the brine, still want to salt the skin. So it's 2 tablespoons of salt. This is our salt shaker. And this is straight black pepper. And we're just going to, about 1.5 tablespoons. Right. And this is the zest of 1 lemon. So that's going to go in 2. Trust me on the lemon zest. It really gives an extra kick of flavor. Rub this around in the bowl, get it all combined. Then we're just going to rub it on the turkey. Pepper, salt, lemon, all parts, even the wings. Looking pretty good here. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to put, so either garlic cloves that I've chopped somewhat indiscriminately. There's some bigger pieces, some smaller pieces, and you're just going to kind of put these in the little crevices here and there. Again, no rhyme or reason. Wherever they'll kind of fit in. And then I've got some fresh herbs that we're just going to lay on top too. This is thyme. Just going to lay it right on various places on the turkey. This is fresh, obviously. I think it's coming like this in a jar. So it's just going to lay right on. We've got some rosemary, same thing. I got a few sage leaves too. I'll put those on. So I've got this nice confluence of herbs and spices. And this is going to sit in your refrigerator till tomorrow, Thanksgiving, when we take it out. You want to take it out about an hour early, and then we're going to wipe all this off. And then we're going to cook it. And I'm going to show you how we cook it in about half the time. I want to point it also back here. This is the stock I'm making for gravy. And we put in some herbs and spices, and then we took the aromatics that we had from the brine, put them in too. So that's going to be used for our gravy tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow. Turkey day, time to cook. Okay, here we are. It's Thanksgiving Day. We're getting ready to cook our turkeys. So I have two turkeys here. I'm actually cooking two. This is the one, or they're both the same, but I left the herbs and stuff on here so you could remember that from yesterday. This is one I've taken all of the herbs and stuff off of, and I put it here in this bowl. And what we're going to do is when we put it in the pan, I'm going to put it underneath so it'll give some aroma and some taste to the underside of the bird. So we want to take it out an hour before you want to cook it. So that means math. I know we did math earlier. We're doing math again. So you want to figure, for this is a 16-pound turkey, probably going to take between 90 minutes and 2 hours. So working backwards, and you want to let it sit for half an hour before carving. Probably need about 2.5 hours. So if you want to serve at 5 o'clock, you should start at 2:30, and you should take out the turkey around between 1 and 1:30. And the next thing you want to do is you want to take all of the racks out of your oven, all of them, because we're going to cook it on the oven floor. And when we get ready, we're going to turn this to 450. So we're going to cook it on a high heat to begin with, and then after 30 minutes, we're going to turn it down to 350. We're also coming over here, and we're going to sear the legs in the roasting pan. This is our roasting pan. So put it over 2 burners. We're going to sear it on the stovetop, and then put it into the oven. So here's some things we're going to need. This is a couple of onions that I've sliced kind of into big pieces, and that's going to go around the turkey. And what's going to make them aromatic is some white wine from Josh, whoever Josh is. Thank you, Josh. And of course, olive is always here, and we're going to put olive oil on the onions and on top of the turkey, and then we have salt, a little salt sour, and all that is going to go into the roasting pan, and then we're going to put it in. Give me a minute to get organized, and we'll show you how to do this turkey in half the time. We put in all this work for a week. Let's finish it off right. All right, we're ready to start cooking, and we've got our pan we're going to put across 2 burners. We turn those burners on. Going to heat the pan. So I've oiled it slightly with. So what we're going to do, we also got the oven preheated to 450 degrees. So once we do our work here on the stovetop, we're going to go over to the oven. So a couple things you're going to need. You will need an instant read thermometer, however meat thermometer you have. You definitely would need some sort of oven gloves to take the pan. This pan will be hot coming off the stove, and we have both the herbs from on top of the turkey and our onions. And of course, our wine from Josh, again, whomever Josh is. All right, so this is pretty warm. So we're going to put the turkey in, breast side up. We're going to sear the legs. Put one leg down, and this leg down. And we want to press down on the legs, let them sear. Turn this leggy around. So the skin is searing. All right, we're going to sear for about 5 minutes. And once we do that, then we're going to add in the onions and the wine and the herbs, and then we'll get it into the oven. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to stick this pile of herbs. I've turned off the heat under the breast here. The lever, I'm going to go under. And we're going to stick, forget the garlic, and we're going to put our onions around, just spread them around. These obviously will disintegrate slightly as it's cooking. All right, let's salt them slightly. So, salt cellar. All right, pour a little white wine in. All right, so we're going to take this and put the turkey in the oven for 30 minutes at 450. All right, it's 3 o'clock. We're going to get started. So we're going to put the turkey on the bottom floor of the oven. As you can see, you got the thighs browned nicely. So we're going to go right on the bottom here. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
All right, so we have a timer going for 30 minutes. It's going to go at 450 degrees for 30 minutes, and then we're going to turn down the heat and finish cooking the turkey. All right, it's 3:30. We've been in the oven for half an hour. Let's take a look at the temp. Ooh, the steam. See, it's only 98 degrees, so we got a ways to go. So we're going to put the temp at 350. All right, so this we're going to cook. We'll go for about another 45 minutes or so, and then we'll check it again. All right, it's about 4:15. I'm going to check the temp. Well over 160. Dark meat. All right, so we're going to turn off the oven, pull it out and cover it and let it rest. So this took an hour and 15 minutes to cook the turkey. All right, here is the second turkey. First turkey is over here covered. This one just came out of the oven. Look how nice and brown and dark it is. Took about an hour and a half in the oven. So you give another 5 or 10 minutes on top of the stove, and this is done in less than 2 hours. So here we have our stock, our warm turkey stock we made from the bones from the spatchcocking. This is the leftover drippings from the pan, and we're going to add some flour, soy sauce, and the stock. So let's get started on the gravy. All right, so we're going to get started with the gravy. We've warmed this, the pan drippings and the onions, and you could use an immersion blender if you like. I'm not going to bother. This is our stock, nice and hot. So we start by adding some flour, and just going to whisk this. I'm going to get rid of the lumps as it heats. Might add a little more flour. This whole process will take probably about 15-20 minutes, just enough time to let the turkeys rest so we can start carving them. Okay, one of the things I mentioned that we use is soy sauce, and the reason we use soy sauce is to give both a little color and a little sodium. So we may not need much more than that because there's plenty of sodium in, and we just don't want the color to be brown. All right, so we'll keep doing this, and about 10-15 minutes, we'll come back and show you what it looks like. As you can see, it's bubbling away very nicely. Put a little more stock in. That's hot turkey stock. A whisk. Keep thickening. And this will go very nicely with our turkey. I'm going to taste it. Wow, very nice. Definitely turkey. All right, next step is to carve the bird, and we will do that for presentation. We do not put the entire bird. We cut off the breast, the legs, the thighs, the wings, and then we put it on a platter. And so it's already carved for people to help themselves. All right, so here's the first turkey, and we've got our leg. A knife would be good. So we're going to cut right between the thigh and the drumstick, and we're going to just put those to the side for a second. The same with the other leg quarter, right through. All right, and the breast, we'll slice right down the middle. Side. So here we're going to take our boning knife, it's the pointy one, and we're going to remove the breast little by little from the breastbone. All right. Here's one piece of the breast. And the other one should come off just as easily. Down the side. And while I'm thinking of it, let me get the stock pot, put our bones in. All right. Gotta find the edge of the breastbone. There it is. All right, and it's the second breast. So we're just going to stick the carcass into the stock pot. So this is a presentation turkey. So we're going to take our breast first, and all very juicy. I'm going to take off a little bit of the skin here, and we're just going to cut it into serving pieces. Leave the skin on if you like. Better have a taste. Pretty good. Okay, we're going to do this with the other breast. Right. This is just going to go right. Actually, you can cut this in half. Having a crown. So this is just going to go right on this platter. And we're going to do the same thing with the other breast. So we'll be right back when we start on the dark meat. Okay, so we do the easy part. The wings, I just put them on the back of the breast, just like that. And then the drumstick, I usually just cut the meat off. Somebody's going to eat one drumstick. That's good enough. A little dark meat here. There's a drumstick here. So the same type of thing. I'll cut the meat off. A lot of cartilage in these. Now the thigh. So the thigh, what we're going to do is find the bone. We're going to cut along the bone. It's right there. My boning knife. Alright. Same thing here. Boning knife to, and we'll cut this the same way we cut the breast into serving. Everything gets slick, so you gotta make sure you're being careful here. Like that. Thigh meat in the middle. And the last thigh, same type of thing. We're gonna find the bone. There it is. Cut it the same way as the breast. Presentation. And this is our turkey. Make it look pretty, put some parsley around. And this is our Thanksgiving dinner ready in a couple of hours. No one has to sit at the table and butcher the turkey. It's done, and this is how it's served. And everyone gets a piece. So, it's been a while trying to get this together. It took us about a week putting the bird to defrost, then brining and spatchcocking, and then putting herbs and spices all over it, and then cooking it, and then making the gravy. So I hope this has been helpful. I can't wait to eat it, and the people downstairs are waiting for it also. So thanks so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate all the support. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.